Boom, and welcome to another episode of Nobody Watching. At any moment of the day, we are either wide awake and alert or asleep and dreaming. Duh, right? I hear you. Believe me, when I first heard it myself, I nearly dismissed the concept entirely as sharing something so completely elementary would be beneath you and your time. But since I have nothing but respect for your time, hear me out. When our daily routines are so entrenched in the fiber of our existence, it can be hard to know which is which. For instance, I could be asleep now, and I'm just dreaming about talking to you. Alternatively, maybe you're the one asleep, and you are dreaming of watching this. And if you are, I'm sad for you and your dreams, but grateful that you decided to spend your dream time here. Now take a second to subscribe. It's mind-blowing, right? A little off-putting, right? Incredibly stupid with no chance at all that either one of us could be dreaming this, right? Well, that's probably true, but maybe it's not impossible. First, consider the phenomenon of the false awakening. I'm not talking about the sudden burst of awareness surrounding your personal need for spiritual guidance only to abandon it by the time you finish your first cup of coffee in the morning. Or scotch. I'm talking about the wildly vivid and convincing dream about waking up from a dead sleep while you are, in fact, still sleeping. After a false awakening, you dream you are alert and aware and functioning as you might in any wide-awake situation, but you're still sleeping, still dreaming. False awakenings, mainly those in which one dreams that they have woken up from a sleep that featured a dream, take on aspects of a double dream or a dream within a dream. Another type of false awakening is the continuum. In a continuum, a person falls asleep in real life, but in the following dream, the brain simulates the person's mind as though they are not sleeping. So the person thinks he or she is still awake, but in reality is asleep. A false awakening loop is when somebody dreams about waking up over and over again, sometimes even up to 10 times or more, without knowing which time they're actually awake. In addition to the freaky mind games that come with waking or not waking, there are other things that can affect the narrative of our dreams. There is the concept of lucid dreaming, where sleeping dreamers are aware they are dreaming and try to control the content and outcome of their dreams through various techniques. One of these is called reality testing, which involves checking your environment several times a day to see whether or not you're dreaming. Research also suggests you can hack your dreams by doing certain things like noting your sleep position, avoiding scary content before going to bed, not going to bed hungry, taking dream-enhancing supplements like vitamin B6, surrounding yourself with soothing scents and smells, and even eating certain types of cheese. But are these things we should even mess around with? What if dreams are our connection to universal messaging system that gives us information along with the quality and restorative sleep we need to survive? Is that something to tinker with? It's not like taking apart an old radio. The dream world is a powerful sub-reality. Not to get too gruesome or anything, but there have been some truly heinous crimes committed while people have been asleep or sleepwalking. In the case of killing or homicidal somnambulism, people have actually been found innocent and set free because they couldn't remember doing anything and there was no malice in their actions, even though they committed some grisly acts of violence. One night in 1987, Canadian man Kenneth Parks got out of bed, drove 14 miles to the house of his in-laws with whom he was said to have a close relationship. He strangled his father-in-law until the man passed out, bludgeoned his mother-in-law with a tire iron, and stabbed them both with a kitchen knife. The woman died. The man barely survived. When Parks then arrived at a police station, he appeared oblivious to the fact that he'd severed tendons in both his hands during the attack. That obliviousness to pain, along with other factors including a strong family history of parasomnias or disruptive sleep disorders, led experts to testify that Parks had been sleepwalking during the attack. Because he was not conscious, he was not responsible, and ultimately, he was acquitted. When we consider the stressors of our lives and all the weird things we encounter, there is a convincing argument to be made that perhaps this is one big communal sleepy time mind game. Pinch me. Check the water. Are we living in the Matrix? How many times have you thought everything going on must be a bad dream because nothing in reality could be this weird? Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling angry at somebody or for something they did in your dream? How dare they? You were dreaming. But you still felt that strong emotion carry into your waking state. So am I awake or am I dreaming? And if I'm dreaming, is this a random dream or is it a lucid dream of my own design and intent? What about you? Is it time to wake up? We'll see you next time.